of this session. It's a very nice name. It says, "Show me the money." And all of us want that, right? So we have with us Dinesh Potnuru, VP Product, INDMoney, Tallam Sai Shri Datta, Senior Principal Software Engineer, INDMoney, Chetan Sahu, Senior Product Designer, INDMoney, and Manoj Alankar, co-founder, Finvu, to show us the money.
Hi, this is Dinesh, and I'll not let you kind of stop from the beers that are going to be there in a couple of minutes. I'll keep the presentation short. I represent INDMoney. So I work on the product side of INDMoney. I have my colleagues over here, Chetan, who looks after the design at INDMoney, and Datta, who looks after the back-end technologies at INDMoney. We also have Manoj, but he's currently engaged in another session. So I'll quickly give an overview of what we've been doing at INDMoney in the past 1 year. So we launched, even before that, like what is INDMoney for some of you who do not know. So we are a fintech app with an objective to solve two things for the users. One, in terms of how do we help users to manage their personal finances better. And in the end, how do they kind of save more each and every month, each and every quarter? Second, we also kind of help users to invest in multiple asset classes according to their risk profile. So that is the core purpose that we kind of solve at INDMoney. Now moving on to how we kind of have been engaged on the account aggregator ecosystem. Over here, we launched on the account aggregator ecosystem as a PFM app in February of 2022. And so far, we have more than 3.2 lakh users who have linked their bank accounts on the platform. And more than 4.5 lakh bank accounts have been tracked so far. If we just look at the users' behavior post-linking their accounts, we saw a 60% jump in their session frequency coming back to the app again and again to kind of look at their, say, account details and net worth, which we'll kind of give a quick overview in the next video. So we wanted to show you and tell than tell you and show. So that is where we are trying to keep it as interactive as possible by showing it in a visual format. So let's kind of go to the first video.
Click on the notification and open the INDMoney app. Just click Proceed, select your bank account, and you will receive an OTP from Finvu, an RBI-approved account aggregator. Rest assured, your data is safe and secure. Enter the OTP and Finvu will scan your bank account information. Once that's done, select your account and click Track Account to unlock powerful insights. Confirm the tracking access and you will receive another OTP from your bank for confirmation. Your bank account insights will be at your fingertips in a jiffy. And that's not all. Your total balance combined with your investments will be added to your net worth. Download INDMoney now and take control of your finances like never before. INDMoney, India ka super money app.
A couple of insights which I wanted to start you with. So we have been on the account aggregator ecosystem from the very nascent stage. And if I look at the insights, a lot of users did not understand what this ecosystem was. They were not aware of what is this. There did not exist a mental model which tells like what is going to be the process and what is the output I'm going to get if I kind of go through the entire process. So that is where, if you would have looked at the video, we made it as visual as possible back to the users to make it understandable to the users that what will they kind of go through and what is the output that they would be getting. Similarly, another insight is that since it is a very new, people did not know if this ecosystem can be trusted enough or not. And that is where a lot of social proofing was required. Since we were again one of the PFM players who were there from the very start, we always started using the social proofing hook, which is around like the number of users who are already there on our platform who are using it for their bank account balance tracking and all. So that has helped them as an additional hook. And lastly, if I just talk about, a lot of users generally use Excel sheets, notebooks, and also like use their multiple apps to just kind of track their balances. So with this, like as all of us are already aware, we kind of are moving away from that through account aggregator ecosystem so that all of them can be put in one place. And in addition to that, what we are all not aware is what is our net worth. Like if we just look at it, there are multiple apps to tell, hey, this is how my investments are faring. This is how my EPF is kind of, the current balance of the EPF is. Or this is how my liabilities are, how my bank balances are. But can I give you a consolidated view to say, this is your net worth, what stands as of today? So that is another big insight that we were looking at, and that is what we brought through this ecosystem. Moving on, the next part is, okay, you have this money, but where do you spend? Like, a lot of users were like, what? Do I spend even this much? So that is where we wanted to show you the next video over here on how did we kind of go about solving this problem. Again, I'll go back to the insights over here. People had money coming in. They're aware of how much is the money coming in, but they were not exactly aware what is the money going out and or what are the exact categories of the money going out. They did not have a singular view where they can see all of this together. That is what we were trying to solve for. Similarly, people wanted to know what are those transactions or debits that they were not aware of. A lot of people set up their, NACH mandates or kind of give checks which kind of bounce. But are they aware enough that there is a bounce charge that is happening, which is to the tune of around 300 to 500? And that is one, again, insight that we wanted to give back to the user on how do you kind of be better literate of these things and also save more in the end. Similarly, the last thing is like how do you kind of cut down on some of your expenses in particular categories. We have heard time and again from users that, oh, I did not know that I spent so much on food, or I did not know I spent so much on, like say, eating out and all. So that is where like this kind of helped us attract a lot of love from our customers. Moving on to the next one. So we also understand finance is not individual. Finance is a family together. Personal finance is always like where you kind of are trying to take care of your family, tracking together as your family. That is where our next insight was, and we would quickly show you what we kind of are trying to do over here. Again, like what I mentioned, a lot of us kind of track things individually, but what is required is kind of tracking together as a family. And the biggest issue is If at all you want to track together as a family, there is no single place where you can do that. And that is, again, one big revelation for us, where through mutual consent between a husband and a wife, or a son and a father, like how do we kind of establish that relation that personal finances have to be tracked together? And that is the very core insight which we kind of started with. uh, just through users giving consent or the family members giving consent to each other, they kind of can have the overall portfolio, which includes their investments, bank balances, liabilities all at one place. And also they can kind of understand what is their current net worth as a family and how do they kind of progress towards in 10 years from now. Where do they place themselves? And if they are protected enough, or if they are kind of well settled for all the financial goals that they are taking in the future. I'll move on to the next one. Again, it is in the similar lines of what we just established now. When you talk about family, a lot of times, what does love mean for us? Securing our loved ones, right? Securing our family. And we'll move on to the video before I explain. Let's understand what are the insights this was based on. We all take life insurance policies, but do our family or nominees or our spouses know that there is a life insurance policy? Most likely no. Even if they know, what are they aware of? Maybe just the cover amount? Are they aware of anything more than that? Most likely no. So that is the very core pain point that we wanted to solve for. Coming from the roots of the earlier one, which is around the family dashboard, we have established that as a family, you don't just track your investments, your bank balances, but also track your security, protection, that is your policies together. And these policy, the way we are trying to design over here, tells if the user's policy benefits, the user's policy premiums, if they are due or not, because if you do not pay the policy at time, there's always a chance of lapsing, which again kind of goes back in time. So we want the families to track their policies together on the same app. And we also want to understand them, what are the benefits or how is their particular insurer doing in terms of the different metrics, which is their claim settlement ratio, the solvency ratio and all. So that's the next one. The last one is around investments portfolio. So we spoke about bank balances, we spoke about family dashboard, we spoke about insurances. What's left? It's investments now. So let's quickly again jump onto the video. Going back, again, we'll touch upon the same point, which is like, what is the core insight why we are trying to do this? The very first one, most of us who are sitting here are retail investors, but we invest once and kind of leave it for later. But are we on top of the game of what exactly is happening to the stock? No, most likely. And also, do we understand enough if we kind of are putting a risk in a lot of, say, one core sector, or one, like say, a large cap or a mid cap? Most likely no, right? So that is where we wanted to help the users back, where first is how is their portfolio moving on a daily level, a weekly level, a monthly level. On top of that, if there is a particular stock that has moved up or moved down, it's not just like that the stock has moved up, right? You also need to know why did it move up. Like you want to establish those relationships back. in terms of what has happened that it has led to this change. So we want to educate users, become literate so that they can take better decisions in the near future. And on top of that, we also want to help users saying that, hey, do not put too much risk into one sector, right? It could be either a sector, it could be one, say, a small cap or a mid cap. So we want to kind of help users. And lastly, a lot of times we do get dividends, but that's a very happy moment, right? It's a net amount addition in our pocket. But are we much aware of what exactly is the amount? How much was the dividend that was given? Most likely no. So again, that is another pain point that we wanted to solve for the user, saying, hey, like, this is a dividend that you have gotten in your bank account because you are invested in this stock, and we wanted to establish that relationship. So lastly, I think a lot of these things are there in our beta features, and we are kind of slowly rolling out to the users. We just wanted to quickly play one video in the paucity of time on what our customers say about the journey.
My name is Murli. I'm a retail professional. I'm making this video as a testimonial for Account Aggregator feature on INDMoney. My journey started with INDMoney by 2019-20, where I started exploring investment opportunities. The team helped me to choose the right investments. Then I started using it very regularly. And I also entered into US stock markets. Then they introduced a feature where I can see all my bank accounts in one place. Over the years of my professional journey, I've created multiple accounts. So it was becoming too difficult for me to check on my spends and which account I'm using for what investments. So this feature gave me all accounts in one place. It gave me an insights on my spend habits. So it also made me an eye-opener that I was spending way too much of money on my food, ordering food. So which also helped me to readjust my budgets and reassign the same money into different investment buckets. So only the problem is when you have multiple accounts, we are not able to see all the banks under one roof. It is there, it is a beautiful feature, so it has got a good design, easy to navigate. But if we can have more banks into this forum, it is going to help us much better. So to have everything under one app, and you can check, understand, readjust your spends. So it is going to help us in the long way. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Happy to answer any question.